Okay, Steve, I'm all yours.
Great. Okay, cool. So first of all, I'm asking everyone this sort of question. I'm asking people for people's reflections on 2020, because it's been obviously a difficult year, and you can see the guys in masks behind you. This is not normal. I guess how has it been for a live casino operation? Because at the one hand, I'm hearing online casinos are doing well because people are stuck at home. But on the other hand, I guess at times you've had trouble getting dealers actually into the studio during some periods, have you? Talk me through the year.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's great to be here, at December 2020, and still have an operation behind us, working and being able to provide that safe environment for the employees at this stage of the challenge that we've been having this year. It's definitely been a strange year to operate live casino, but I think globally, not only for us here in Riga or in the other studios of Playtech Live, it was inspiring to see people around the industry, around the live casino industry, really picking it up, the challenge, and looking, into the eye of the challenge, and providing safe environments for the employees to come and operate. I think this year we really depend on anyone that is operating here, from the cleaning ladies to the security guards, dealers, shufflers. While we still provide a place of work for them to come and earn money through difficult times, we still need to provide them security in terms of the placement of work and how we allow them to operate and come here every day. This year, we didn't have to close the studio in Riga. We did have a few weeks that we had to shut down the operation, the live operation in the Spanish studio, but we actually managed to keep on the studio operating thanks to very big investment we've done in continuity products well in advance. And that's, I think, that the big gain for this year in terms of operating live. You need to have the IT technology in place. You need to have the people ready to operate under conditions which are not normal for that kind of operation. You can see the people with the masks behind me, but for example, Spain was a great example where we managed to keep on the games available for players, and of course the service available for our operators, through even times that the Madrid studio had to be not having the team on spot. And we're very proud of that, to be honest. Here in Riga, we didn't get to that yet. I hope we don't need to get there. We are well equipped with all the measures in place. We were well equipped even before the pandemic really, started to rise up and be more apparent worldwide. So the measures here started already in February. And we are investing a lot, both in the care for the employees, first of all, making sure on a personal level that they are with a strong mentality and that they understand how to operate, they understand the limitations, they understand how to keep themselves safe, and we support them. If somebody needs a bit different type of support, we do that as well. But I think the reliability of the product of live gaming really proved itself this year, both for players, that we are here for them. We saw TV shows and late night TV shows being suspended in the US throughout the pandemic, but live gaming was there 24/7. It provided escapism for players. Mm-hmm. It provided a reliable tool for the operators also to keep on that connection with the players throughout the pandemic. So we saw a lot of the players writing in the chat. It's great to see the dealers that we know, that we like, that we are familiar with, they're well-dressed, with a smile, not ignoring, the global pandemic, but still are there to provide an entertainment experience with a very nice personal attitude. So I think that this year, people came more to the live products to interact with other players, to socialize. I think the chat, as I mentioned, was a place that people felt that they can express themselves, that they can get some support, that they can see that other people are also, are a bit, let's say, bored at home or want to find some channel to interact. And the virtual space definitely provided that. And I think that us giving the players, just a little of that human touch that people have been missing this year, definitely helped the operators provide that value to players, and also helped players get great entertainment throughout the year.
Yeah, and has that sort of been reflected in revenues for Playtech?
Well, I'm not the official, let's say, PR to the market, so I can say that we definitely saw a big, let's say, uplift in the activity. Mm-hmm. I can talk on the name of Playtech Live. We still managed to open a lot of new tables this year, a lot of new experiences, new games went live. The biggest game ever from us went live just recently, Adventures Beyond Wonderland. And again, I have to go back to the team because nobody sat at home when they built it, besides the developers that were working from home, and that's also difficult for them. And I think it was a great experience also for the team to take upon that challenge and know that we have an opportunity to obviously serve that, let's say, rising popularity in the vertical, that interest, and to fill that gap of human interaction that I was mentioning before. But also we had a commitment to do so for our operators who saw other verticals obviously less available this year. Sports events were off for some time, and live played a very, very important role in that, and we were very excited to pick it up on our side.
Yeah. You touched on it there, but I noticed just doing a bit of research that you did do a lot of deals this year. A lot of them seem to be driven by operated branded tables. Were they new for you this year, or was it just people picking up
the branded tables?
Yeah. So
I think the branded tables are a great example of what live is all about. I think that in the past, live was kind of a sidekick to casino games. So it was, there are a few tables over there, casino tables, blackjack, roulette. And slowly but surely, I think that the operators started to understand that actually live can give them the stage to represent themselves in the best way. Actually to bring the brand in front of the players and have a branded, as you mentioned, experience for the players tailored for that brand. So if a brand is more focused on sport, you could have a more sports-oriented table, or even a bespoke game that we've done a few of these this year with our major operators to give them that differentiation, that additional value in the market to better serve their players and to better represent themselves. And those branded tables are obviously needed for that perspective, but also in terms of the popularity that the product is getting these days. And if you want to ensure available seats for your players on limited seats tables, then definitely this is the way. I think a lot of the brands have realized that the future looks that the online gaming sites actually could be better differentiated if you have your own offerings. And while it is more challenging to get that, let's say, with the other products, other verticals, here we can really tailor-made the studio, the game, for the brand itself and for its strategy.
Yeah. And so are you noticing certain operators are getting more committed to live casino?
Yeah, definitely. I think the obvious ones are the ones that already saw great success with the vertical. But the others are picking up quite fast. I think everybody recognized the popularity and the audience wants to play live games. Live games does not provide you just, an experience of press a button, wait for the result. It provides you a whole variety of entertainment aspects, and people are there to get value for their money and not only return for their money. So they pay to get a great experience, a great gaming experience, rather than only a betting experience. And I think that's something that we will see more and more and more emphasized when we develop the live vertical. I think we are still at the early days of this industry, of the live industry, and we will see more aspects of online gaming going live. You know, this year we brought live bingo, we brought live slots, and those trends of bringing the familiar experiences from other online gaming verticals into live will become much more apparent. And in Playtech, because of the platform, because of the technology that connects also the verticals, it's something which is very obvious for us and at the center of our strategy. And to be honest, I'm very excited about the 2-3 years roadmap that we are shaping now, because we are looking at those segments. We are looking at what we can do. We are challenging our imagination and the creativity in really bringing new things into live, rather than creating more of the classics. Although still, and I think everyone in that industry can vouch for that, the main, let's say, betting activity is still on the core games. Players are still interested to go to the roulette, to play blackjack, to play baccarat, to play the familiar games. But new audiences are coming all the time. And we cannot ignore the other platforms that are offering something very similar to what we are offering, whether it's Twitch or whether it's Netflix, which is very popular to mention in that perspective, because eventually live is a video platform. And we first of all provide a video feed that you watch, that you interact. In that perspective, we are a TV product, but what we do different than the TV is that we give also a very nice personalization to the user to interact suddenly with his TV stream. So, the obvious ones would be the chat, but this year we also managed to put stickers into the chat. So let's say you have a certain feeling that you used to express only via your SMS or via your phone to your dear friends. Suddenly you can do that on the online gaming platform. You can have an emoji. You can just have a sticker. You just have a big win. You can post that. And we're trying to give a more personalized experience while getting it more a wider perspective on the generic offering, meaning that we bring in brands that are touching into a nostalgic, let's say, feeling of the players and are talking into a wider audience, but we present them and deliver them to the users in a way that they feel that they can suddenly interact. So I think that we are still at the beginning of the creativity around that vertical, and the adaptiveness that we saw this year from the products will only get increased in the coming years.
Cool. We're going. Well, there's a lot of things we can cover. I mean, you mentioned Spain there, and you've got a studio in Madrid. Is that for regulatory reasons, or is that so you can localize the dealers and speak the language?
Of course. So I mentioned the adaptiveness of the live product. I think that one of those aspects is that we can be and we can establish a studio or a tailor-made product based on the regulation, based on the needs, based on the requirements of a certain market. In Spain specifically, you need to be on Spanish soil and operate the games from there. And of course, there are other types of instructions by the regulator there that we need to operate with, and we're happy to do so and provide the value that the local culture also is requiring from the product. And I think that also ensures the continuous growth of live, because if today we are looking at a set spec of territories that we are operating at, and we mentioned TV as some kind of a vantage point on the growth potential of live, we would be able to continue adapting the live product and studios into other territories that we don't serve today, and continue growing it based on the localized requirements and culture also that the audience, the regulator, the authorities are allowing us to do so.
Yeah, but in terms of localized products for localized markets, I mean, Riga will remain the hub because it is such a strong hub, but I can imagine, for example, some US states asking for a similar, we want US-based dealers.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking at yet, or how do you see that panning out?
Definitely. And the US, personally for me, is a fascinating opportunity for us. And I'm happy that you approached that question from the let's say localization perspective, because sometimes people tend to think of localization as just a spoken language, but it's so much more than that. And you can mention aspects like how much time you leave the cards on a table before you actually take them back, in terms of a culture and what the player is expecting. Or on the flip side, the music that is playing in the background of the table, what does it say to which player, and what does it come to serve? I think we have a big opportunity in the US, and we are actively working towards it. Again, I'm not going to give any official announcements here, but we are well active on a multi-state approach. And we're going to see not only localization, I think we're going to bring a culturalized product. I think something that we have not yet seen in the US market is that US culture being represented in the live games over there. And that's something that we are working on very hard, to create a new type of a studio, side by side to the classics that we're going to bring with us, of course, that are always there, the core games and the basic classical games that the players are looking for. We're going to bring a more differentiated experience to the US.
So talk to me a little bit about new products. We've mentioned some of them. You mentioned the Alice in Wonderland one there. You said? Did you say it's been the most successful launch you've had, or by what metrics? And
well, it's first of all, Adventures Beyond Wonderland has not yet even been live a month, and we definitely identify key metrics around it that are looking very, very strong. Let's put it this way. We have not yet rolled it out completely in the UK, because some exclusivity periods that we're giving to major partners, like every launch that we do. But the rollout to the network is ongoing, and to be honest, we are extremely surprised in a good way on the uptake and the responses for that experience. We went a very, very long way for us in terms of the investment around that product, the time it took us to develop it, and what we expect for it to be. It's not just a game for us. We developed a game that is built and inspired from an existing slot game, Adventures Beyond Wonderland from Playtech. And we took it to a place, like we've done before with live trivia, that is more of a platform for us. So that game has launched in a basic form. And from that place, we can actually adapt it into various other, let's say, directions. Let's say Christmas is coming. Now it's a bit too early on the launch phase, but the game could just be dressed up as Christmas and create some different experience for the users, building on top the existing, let's say, features that we have implemented there that are first for us. And a few of them are industry first as a whole, and that continue our strategy to deliver industry first products into the market, focusing on the game shows.
Yeah. Well, finally, what's the outlook for 2021 for Playtech Live like? And I mean, bearing in mind the continuing pandemic as well.
So I think that 2021, first of all, in terms of the roadmap of the games, is super exciting. Personally, we are now able to fulfill some of the vision that we put in place for Playtech Live in terms of the content that we deliver. We are going to see a few more studios being worked on. And of course, the physical presence of Playtech Live will continue to grow. That is an important aspect for our growth and for our ability to better serve different territories. You mentioned the US. I'm sure that we are going to play a major role over there as well, and we're going to give the operators there something new. Definitely a very versatile portfolio including, we cannot forget the sports aspect of the product. We already are very much invested in sports-oriented products on our floor. We were the first ones to actually integrate sports betting into live product, and we do that today with a few operators.
Is that popular? Does it cross over?
It is very much. It's something that captures the interest of the user, I think, in the best way. We see a lot of sports fans coming to live because that ability for live to some sort of represent a sport event. And today, we are going to launch very soon a new type of betting on live games, which is actually with bet slips for territories and markets that don't have, let's say, a live casino regulation, but do allow those live games to be bet on as a sport event. And we're going to explore more value to sports fans and seeing how we bring more content into the live stream, while not forgetting technology. This year we invested a lot in our video platform. I'm very proud of that activity, and it turned out to be something that affected our games popularity in a really big manner. Players are mentioning it in the chats, and we're seeing a very good uptake to those kind of investments behind the scenes. So we're going to definitely keep on doing that. I've been asked a lot about 4K quality, and that's something that we are already now able to provide our product just from recently. And we are going to allow those technological aspects of live, of TV, also affect our product and our roadmap going forward in order to really establish live not only as a content that is brought to our operators, but also as a platform, as a technology platform that is able to transmit content and gaming experience and engagement to players.
Yeah,
so I think all of that together is really something that will shape the roadmap, not only for 2021, but also for the years to come after.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can see it going well beyond live casino into like I don't know if you know Sky Sports Soccer Saturday, where they have like 4 pundits talking about the football, but you could do that in your environment, right? With 4.
Yeah. Sports Center approach is something that we almost capturing today. We have a few products that already show, let's say, a live in-feed action of what's happening in games, and players choose to sit and interact with the dealer while they watch the activity, while they play a live game. And I think that we will be looking at not only providing a place to bet and to watch the sports, but also a place to really centralize that type of a strategy from a brand. If he wants to live stream an event, he can do that to our platform these days. If he wants to allow players to only watch or to bet or to interact with the game, he could do that. So I think that it would be very much depending on the strategy. And you mentioned Sky, again, a great partner of ours that we look into doing very exciting things in the next year together. That strategy would obviously be able to run through live. And again, we need to provide that technology for our operators. But it all starts from the platform that enables that interaction between the different segments of gaming.
Yeah, it would require some investment on behalf of the operator, but it'd be interesting if you got a Sky Bet or a Fox Bet in the US and you got professional pundits talking alongside I don't know.
Well, we already done that. We have a very famous yearly campaign that we do with our dear partners at the Coral Ledbrooks around Cheltenham.
Yeah.
And that's something that is always fun to do. We actually have a horse racing expert coming on board. It's the same guy for a few years already, and the team already knows him, and the players knows him, and the great interaction and some charity bets going on. And I think that, you know, what really brings together the live product these days, the community. You know, players are coming back every night. It's like going out without going out. It's a night out without going out.
Mm-hmm.
Player coming back every night to the same place, and they meet the same people, and they interact, and they have their own humor already that they share between them. And even suddenly, even a mistake of a dealer can become a positive thing because everybody experienced it together. Obviously, we hope no mistakes happen, but it's part of the game. It's part of the game, and you know, we are here to get just a little of that human touch, and that involves also some mistakes along the way, and people tend to now be very positive about it because they share it together. I mentioned live slots. That's also a community betting experience that is the first of its kind, and we are happy to provide that aspect. And I think bringing those together creates something that we didn't see before, even if we had already, you know, thousands of people sitting on the same table. The products today allow them also to experience the winnings together, the losings together, the funny moments together. And it goes way, way beyond just gambling together. It's really becoming entertainment, you said. I say it's also a community. And you know, it's the holiday season, so I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
And to you too, yeah.
Thanks. Today it's the second candle of Hanukkah.
Okay.
So I also wish everybody happy Hanukkah. And really everyone around the world is operating live casino these days. Hats off. And I hope everyone will have a bit of a rest, although we are up and running also on the holiday season. So not much rest for the operation teams, but really impressive work from everyone around the world operating live these days and throughout the year. Definitely, I'm speaking on behalf of the teams. People went above and beyond with care throughout all the levels of operation. And I'm sure it's like that throughout every provider around the world to make sure that this service keeps on working and will keep on working. So we are here for the players and the operators and continue to be so.
Yeah, cool. Brilliant. All right, lovely. Well, I'm going to say goodbye then. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, until we meet again.
Until we meet again. Well, I hope soon, Steve. I hope soon. It was really a pleasure to talk to you, and have a great weekend. And again,